Hello everyone, welcome into another Joint Movement DPT's video. My name is Ryan. This is my beautiful wife, Megan. We're both doctors of physical therapy, and more importantly, we're travel physical therapists. And so that's probably what brought you to our channel. We release different travel therapy educational content, along with, you might be here because you watch our Sunday vlog, which that's all the fun stuff we get to do with travel therapy.
Yes.
However you found our video, we welcome you in. And thanks for watching.
In today's video, we're talking about what mentorship looks like for travel therapists. A lack of mentorship is a major concern for many new grads entering the field, and a lot of new therapists aren't confident enough to start practicing without support, and they're also given advice from their advisors and instructors to practice as a permanent therapist for 1 to 2 years before trying travel. In this video, we're going to evaluate how we took on that question and that roadblock to make the wisest decision for ourselves, and we hope that it's helpful for you too.
So Megan and I really wanted to do travel therapy right out of school. We figured this is the best time in our life to try it and the easiest time in our life to do it.
Yes.
For this reason, we tried to evaluate all the options out there and the opinions from others on if travel therapy was a good idea. Was there enough mentorship? Was there not? So we could make kind of the wisest decision that we could at the time of if we should start travel therapy as new grads or not. One of the biggest roadblocks to travel for us was lack of experience. Many people told us that it'd be hard to find a job as a traveler because we didn't have any experience, or that we wouldn't get any mentorship as a traveler.
Because of this, we really wanted to look at what mentorship meant for a permanent therapist and for a traveling therapist. In our experience from clinicals, what that usually looked like was having someone in the office to direct questions to. Maybe it looked like monthly calls or monthly meetings to dump a whole bunch of questions onto an older, wiser clinician. Or also looked like in-services, presentations, continuing education, things like that. That was our experience from clinicals of what we saw as an example of mentorship. So from these examples that we had, our impression of mentorship was pretty laid back.
In order to get a fuller picture of what mentorship in a permanent position looked like, we decided to poll some new grads and ask them, are they receiving mentorship at their permanent position, and what does that entail? What does that look like for them? And here's what we found. We found that 10 out of the 14 new graduates that we polled were receiving mentorship at their permanent position.
However, only 2 of them were receiving hands-on experiential training on things like manipulation, treatment methods, looking at the different body parts, kind of like an ortho class, and help with complex patients.
And I think as students, when we heard mentorship, this is what we were thinking.
Yeah.
This is what we were hoping for. This is what our teachers, I think, were promoting for us. But it was really surprising to see that out of the 14 students we polled, which I know is a low number, only 2 of them were really receiving this true mentorship that at least I had pictured as a new grad. 3 out of the 14 new grads were receiving something they would call mentorship. But they really questioned if they were even receiving true mentorship or not.
Yeah, they reported that it was really unstructured and they didn't have a set check-in time, and this question made them question whether they were receiving mentorship at all.
And the remaining 5 said that they had lectures, labs, phone calls, face-to-face meetings, a skills checkoff list, or just basic orientation for their mentorship. After gathering all this info, we then wanted to see what mentorship looked like in the travel therapy setting or as a travel therapist.
So when we looked at what travel therapists can receive in regards to mentorship, we found that most recruiting companies offered some form of mentorship for new grads. And most of the time, this took the form of pairing you up with a more experienced clinician that you could email or call whenever you had questions. And we thought that this would be pretty comparable to our permanent therapists, new grads, who were getting mentored through monthly calls or who were able to ask clinicians questions whenever they popped up. So even with this form of mentorship available for traveling new grads, we also found that there are a few really important questions you can ask facilities during your interview to see if they're a good fit for you and if they're going to provide some other forms of mentorship. After all, it's nice to have somebody to call, but it's even nicer to have somebody in the clinic that's just a few steps away.
Yeah, that little extra support.
Yeah.
So here are a few important questions to ask the facility when you're interviewing with them. Are there other therapists working at the clinic? And if so, how long have they been working there? Or how long have they been a, physical therapist, an occupational therapist, speech therapist, nurse, etc.?
Yeah. You also want to ask about the productivity standard at the clinic. And you want to ask about the onboarding process and how much time they have set aside to train you.
And one last thing to ask is if they're expecting you to work with a population that you're just not quite comfortable with. So that can be with like wound care, peds,
women's health.
You want to ask if they're going to offer any training to you.
And there are locations that do. We also found that recruiters can be great resources for finding new grad-friendly locations, and that's why it's really important to go with recruiters that are recommended from other travelers. In our case, we had a recruiter who knew which locations were new grad-friendly, which ones new grads had liked in the past, and we told her that that was really important to us, to have a good first experience, so she really didn't give us any options that she knew would be hard on us as new grads. And we really appreciated that because it gave us some confidence in the fact that even once we get to the interview stage, we're going to be interviewing with a place that is most likely going to be friendly for our first assignment as therapists.
Yeah, and I think when we were looking for our first contract as new grads, really we kind of sat the 3 things to consider in our other educational video, which I'll link up above. We kind of set those aside, meaning pay, location, and setting, and we put to the top kind of this 4th bonus variable of we want a new grad friendly place kind of overall, and we're kind of willing to travel wherever we need to go.
Yes. Because that first contract especially can really make or break your experience as a traveler and whether you're comfortable with continuing it or not.
And so we find it very important to find a recommended recruiter from people who are in the travel game already, and we'd love to share with you all who we work with. Just shoot us an email at jointmovementdpts@gmail.com. I'm sure there'll be a link down in the description, and we'd love to help you out. In conclusion, we found that mentorship as a traveler often looked a lot like what it would be like in a permanent position.
For instance, at my first contract, I was at a location that had 6 seasoned therapists who were very friendly, team-oriented, and willing to help me and answer any questions. And I also had a manager who was really nice and laid back, and being there gave me the opportunity to learn about fields of therapy that I hadn't really practiced in throughout my clinicals. So I got experience in aquatic therapy and in wound care, and they are the ones who taught me how to do a lot of the basics. So I feel like I really received quality mentorship through that location, and it was a travel contract.
So what we suggest is if you're looking to find specific mentorship, scheduled out mentorship with you're learning therapy strategies, manipulations, manual therapy, then it might be best to look at a permanent position or even consider a residency, which would be very structured.
And very helpful.
And very helpful. You would learn a lot.
Yes.
But
there's no guarantee that you're going to get that at a permanent job. So we suggest if that's something that you want, make sure the terms of it are written into your contract to ensure that you're getting structured mentorship.
So as you come out of school as a new grad and you're looking for that first job and you're talking to these different permanent position places, really try to bring up mentorship and ask specific questions on what does that look like. Because every place is going to say, yeah, we have mentorship, but don't let them fool you.
It'll be different everywhere.
So even though we're travelers and we love to promote travel therapy, we would definitely recommend that even for our fellow clinicians and colleagues who are in the permanent space.
If you travel, make sure you ask the questions that we stated earlier in this video to make sure that you're ensuring that you get a good first experience and that you get mentorship out of your travel contract.
And if you don't remember those questions, you can either rewind this video or you can check out our blog that Megan has written on our website, jointmovementdpts.com. There'll be a link down in the description. Just go check it out there. They're listed.
So either way, whether you choose to be a permanent therapist or a travel therapist, you're going to receive some sort of mentorship and you're going to learn a lot. This is an exciting time for you to be entering the workforce for the first time as a therapist. And we also want to encourage you to remember to have confidence in what you've already learned through all of your schooling. You know more than you think, and we're excited for you to be entering the field.
Well, thank you all for watching. If you benefited from this video at all, please smash that like button, subscribe to our channel for more videos, or comment below with any questions that you might have, or just saying, hey, this video was awesome. That always makes our hearts feel so nice.
Another thing that we're doing is we are giving away a Joint Movement Traveler sticker for the rest of the month of November. So if you comment hashtag Joint Movement Traveler in the comments of this video and you fill out the form in the link that I will have in the description, you can get a free sticker and be a part of the Joint Movement DPT clan. And so we would love to send that to you for fun and just help make you part of the team.
And we're doing it for the first 50 people who comment, so make sure you get down there and comment that hashtag. Other than that, thanks for joining us, and until next time, see ya!